Hey guys, it's APK here with some new information about Halo 5. Frank O'Connor has revealed some interesting tidbits about the next Halo game, both on the NeoGAF forums and in his Q&A from the latest weekly bulletin. Here is the first NeoGAF post we are going to be looking at, and in the first part of this post, Frankie says, about to go into an inter-office elimination tourney in a new mode in the Xbox One game. First and foremost, it's a good sign that the game is this playable this far from release. The more time 343 can spend playing the game, the more time they have to polish it before release. Secondly, Frankie mentions that there's a brand new game mode. Halo 4 brought some awesome new game types to the Halo franchise, like Extraction and Dominion, so I can't wait to see what else they come up with. In the next part of his post, he says, I am sticking with my recon scheme. This could be confirming that the next Halo game will not have fully customizable controller schemes, which would be a bummer if it holds true. The ability to customize your controller scheme is something a good portion of the Halo community has asked for in the past, and it'd be a shame if we still can't have that option by 2014. The next post we'll be looking at was in a thread titled Halo on Xbox One Wishlist, and Frank O'Connor posted the following: 60 frames per second, dedicated servers, focus on classic Halo fundamentals, bigger set pieces, call all weapons except CE pistol, grenades drop CE pistols instead of exploding, and take advantage of growing dubstep scene for weapon sounds. The first two he mentioned have been confirmed since the announcement of Halo Xbox One. On the other hand, the last three are clearly jokes and aren't meant to be taken seriously. What makes this post interesting is the middle two, which are very realistic possibilities for the next Halo game. With all of the outcry for Halo to return to its roots, it would be a smart move by 343 to focus on classic Halo fundamentals for the next title. Now let's take a look at 343's latest weekly bulletin, in which Frankie answered questions submitted by the community, with the only caveat being that the questions didn't pertain to future projects. Regardless, some of Frankie's answers gave us some information on the next Halo game. Now, despite the caveat, Frank O'Connor decided to go ahead and answer a question about the inclusion of an in-game ranking system for Halo Xbox One, which he responded with, "There's always a chance." With the addition of Josh Menke, who designed StarCraft 2's ladder system and Black Ops 2's League play, I'd say that the chance is almost a guarantee. When asked what 343 was planning to do with the Arbiter and Sangheili Covenant race in terms of story and gameplay, Frankie answered back with, "Can't talk about it, but a lot. Hopefully this means that we'll see the Arbiter return in Halo 5, which would be a really cool moment in the campaign." Speaking of campaign, in response to a question asking what his favorite Halo moment was, Frankie responded with, "You haven't seen it, but I have. This is just speculation, but he's probably referring to something that occurs in Halo 5's campaign, and I personally can't wait to see what it is, considering how epic some of Halo's moments have been." In response to another question, Frankie confirmed that Halo Xbox One will utilize impulse triggers. Although I prefer to disable controller vibration, the impulse triggers surprisingly added a lot to my experience with Battlefield 4, so it'll be interesting to see how 343 utilizes this particular feature. The last two questions we'll cover in this video were ones that I submitted. One of them was if there has been any discussion in returning to Halo 3's veto-style voting system in matchmaking. The reason I ask this is because I think that the system used in Halo 4 and Halo Reach really hurts the longevity of the game. The problem with the system is that the most popular maps are always selected, and it makes playing the game really monotonous and wears out the maps very quickly. For example, I've probably played Haven, Ragnarok, and Exile in Halo 4 more than the rest of the maps combined. If players had less say in what game types and maps are played, then matchmaking would provide a much more varied experience. Frankie answered the question by saying dedicated servers and cloud technology will give 343 Industries options to expand upon the former rigidity of matchmaking altogether. I was rather happy with this answer, and as long as online play becomes a fresher experience, I'm down for whatever ideas 343 has on the matter. For example, a server browser would definitely accomplish what Frankie says, as it allows for players to ensure they play the maps and modes they want to play, whether it's just a few of them or all of them. The other question of mine was, there has been a ton of feedback, both positive and negative, in regards to the direction that Halo 4's multiplayer took the franchise. What feedback have you taken to heart the most, and what changes have 343 made to their multiplayer philosophy and approach to reflect said feedback? Frankie's answer was, I think that's probably the most important question for our community, and I think we'll start answering it honestly and directly in due time. so I won't touch on philosophy here, other than to say you'll see a lot of those learnings when we start showing things. There's no semantic dance I can do here that will satisfy every segment of our audience. There are just too many pitfalls and inter-community disagreements on what makes Halo multiplayer great, so we will be open and receptive and honest with ourselves. He didn't directly answer the question, or at least in the way I had hoped, but I can't blame him, considering nearly everything in regards to the next Halo title is being kept under wraps. Regardless, the fact that he said that 343 will be open and receptive, and most importantly honest with themselves, is very refreshing. That wraps it up for the Halo 5 news, but before I let you guys go, I'd like to know just one thing. Which piece of info in this video that we covered are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments section below. If you learned something or enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and for more Halo 5 news, make sure to subscribe. Alright guys, this is APK, signing out.